Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Grinding with Borgman. Uh, Thank you so much for tuning in, checking us out. Coming to the close of the second week, episode 7. So, thank you again for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and just jump right into our warm ups. And today I wanted to focus on some musculature, um, do some arm studies for warm ups, gestural, but at the same time, the focus is going to be the arms really, as we like kind of refine some of those gesture drawings. To start though, I'd like to give you some of the stuff that I promised yesterday. The head reference, the skull reference that we were using yesterday, was from Song Lei Fong, my apologies, Song Fei Long. He out of Shanghai, China. You can find them on ArtStation. It was a great head reference because it had the actual the skull rendered really well rendered, and then it also had it broken down into planes, which is a fantastic thing, because simplification is really important in art. We got to start from it all. It sticks all the way down, and then the master of Blender, the best person to learn it from, if you ever want to learn that program. You can do everything on it, and I really need to learn it. But Andrew Price on YouTube. So check out Andrew Price on YouTube if you're at all interested in Blender. It's a free program that is now, it's a market standard, industry standard, and with really translatable skills. So, and I have some Blender homework that I need to do this weekend, for my uncle and I's private class that we've given each other. Great way to advance later on in life. If you're in your 30s and you don't like learning anymore, find somebody else and give each other homework. All right. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm liking this jam right now. All right, so that's not what we want. So we're just moving that down a little bit. Just get it further away from the top there, so that way I can play with it some more. But yeah, like I said, really want to focus on some arm stuff, because that's what I have been. I'm actually currently, on the project that we're working on together, for the back half of the program. We're gonna be getting into arms and stuff too, pretty soon. So, make your warm ups pertinent to your task, if you can. If you're working in an office and you're just tuning in because you like to hang out while you're putting in the data, I'm sorry. No, but you can. I wish you. I don't know. Maybe data entry is like your thing, but for me, it's drawing, and you gotta get the. pointing to something. Then we'll have this one. So I guess it would be more like that. As I look at my own arm. See, I want it from the back. Some from the front. The tricep from behind is like one of the coolest. The way like a well-defined tricep merges into an elbow and then also into the shoulder is a really cool muscle group. And one I need to work on. So actually all the back muscles I need to work on. Get those buns of steel in there. And your thighs are broader from the side than from the front or back. They're very much like a well, they're a cylinder because it sticks all the way down. If you're just tuning in, that was a running joke from yesterday's cast, so go ahead and view those videos because I need the views. And you want to be part of our inside jokes. You could have a shirt someday that says it sticks all the way down. We'll just get some gestures in there and then we'll fill them in. I mean, like, that's literally, that's the way gestures should be. I do way too much of a sketchy thing where I'm like, you know, teasing the line in is one of the best ways to get yelled at. Or teasing or feathering the line in, one of the best ways to get yelled at. Keep focusing on this butt, you know, it's quality butt, squared off, well defined. Look at that, boom. That butt could lift a truck. But yeah, that's all just me feathering lines in, and like I said, not a good thing, not something that you want to showcase. Be more like this because he's leaning into it. So we're gonna pop that shoulder up, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and grab the reference material today is just a Google image search for arm muscles. It's just gonna bring up all kinds of diagrams and stuff. So I'm gonna be pulling from a bunch just because I like to see underneath the skin, you know, like how these things blend together, mix together. Because like your shoulder, well, we'll just go ahead and we'll drop the opacity on this a little bit. We'll go into a second layer and we'll use a different color. I was really liking that darker blue. Yeah, this is nice. But yeah, so your deltoid, you have 3, you know, anterior, exterior, or I mean anterior, whatever. You got front, top, and back, basically. My apologies. Crash Bandicoot sound effects. And so that connects in, and then like the tricep. So your tricep is made up of 3 muscles. And so it gets this, well, it's more like, more like that. So then your tricep is made up of 3 muscles like that. So then you get, that's why you get that like really defined kind of A cut in a well-defined tricep right there. Then you have your bicep brachii, and then the bicep itself. And the shoulder connects down and like merges with the bicep brachii, like right about here. And so yeah, it goes in like that. And then you have the rear delt. But you can see all that on the diagram. So then you just get and then you have the trap right here. Trapezius muscle, right? That's how you pronounce it? I don't know. Some bodybuilder can correct me. That one goes here we go. Yeah. And then that's your, actually that's your trap. This is your lat. Sorry, that's on me. There's your trapezius muscle merging into the neck. When you build it up, that's when it looks like people have like little shoulders set into their bigger shoulders. Dun, 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 dun. I like it when they add like just like that gentle rain sound in the music. Rain is super soothing, you know? And then it connecting, then it turns into tendon right here, connecting to the elbow. And then this. So you generally want to start a new line after you've completed a turn. So like to get rid of that feathering, like that right there, you'd more want to do like that. And then since you're starting a new turn here, so it's, you know, more like line, and then line. Boom. Then you get that nice brachii indent right there. It's like super pronounced on some people. This little, especially when somebody has their arm fully extended, you can see it on your own probably. But I guess it'd be more like that to gesture, indicate that deep pocket. Dun, 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 dun. All right, hopping back to our strim. Then we've got that. So then this muscle twists around to your thumb. So this is like, this right here is all one. And then the bone is pretty much right here. Well, the muscle that is supposed to kind of, you know, like your attaches to your ulna goes underneath and gives that fleshiness. And then we've got there's the wrist bone that's super pronounced on the exterior. Finger, finger. All right, so there we go. Well, sort of. We would just set this back and then correct some of that anatomy right there. This guy, I guess, is like kind of calling in an airstrike or something. That's what it seems like, you know. One on the phone. One hand holding the phone, the other one. So from this angle, we got to do that A cut. So yeah, no, there you go. That's basically roughed out. And then that knuckle goes out further than these other ones. Oh, yeah. Right on. Getting these warm-ups. Grinding through. So if you're just joining us, we're just continuing the grind, you know, listening to the jams. We had we're just exploring some arm anatomy because in a couple of our projects we're going to be progressing onto dealing with some arms, both in my oil painting that we're doing here in the studio, as well as the 5-year-old drawing that we picked up for the stream, and are re-examining and improving. So just, you know, making your warm-ups relevant to what you got going on, if possible. super foreshortened musculature can look a little wonky, but you're gonna get very similar structures. You just gotta, so basically just take this right here and then just turn it. Well, for this arm you gotta flip it and turn it, but still, you know, and just turn it in space. So you're just taking those sticks. So, you know, just imagining this as a cylinder and then turning it in space. So create that little, it's essentially a wishbone shape. Well, reverse wishbone shape, I guess. So, guess what? Yeah, it's like a wishbone with another thing coming out of it. But anyways, so then if that's right there, we're gonna flip it and then rotate it this way too. Then that is right here. And honestly, that would kind of be the best way to draw it. So then boom. And then that weaves into that. So then there we go, as you can see up there. And this is why physics, going right back to like, what should you learn alongside, because physics is going to help with spatial reasoning so much, you know, and that's how you get as good as like Karl Kopinski or Kim Jung-ji or any of those artists that don't even really use underdrawings. Is you need to have that spatial reasoning. You need to be able to turn a box in space or a cylinder in space and know how it's going to lay out. Bicep brachii. That's the bicep brachii right there. That's the regular bicep. So then the shoulder goes in right there. And boom. So then and then the shoulder pops out right here, and then that's the third shoulder head. Anatomy and physics. It's literally all it is. It's all drawing is. The anatomy of an object, the anatomy, because I mean, you know, anatomy can be non-life forms too. You can have the anatomy of a building. Boom. But yeah, there we go. So then that would be this shoulder head right here. And then we'd have the anterior shoulder right there. And then the lat would not be, it would be more flexed and bunched, whereas this one's going to be more stretched due to the extension, which means that it would kind of like have a slight S curve to it. And see, this is helping me out because I'm just like, even though I'm talking through this, you know, kind of for anybody who's tuning in and listening, at the same time, this is a good way for me to learn. You know, like for instance, you learn more when you write something by hand than when you type it. You actually, like, it's implanted in your mind better if you write by hand than if you type something out. even better. And then also like typing something with your thumbs on your phone as compared to typing something on a keyboard, you actually learn that better. The more motion required, like the more manual dexterity required to like impart the information to yourself for a note, the more connection that you're going to have to it, and the more easily you're going to remember that information. There's actually an interesting phenomenon right now in our world where people's short-term memory is getting worse and worse, and it's 100% due to phones and Google. It's an actual like effect where, because we have access to answers at our fingertips, we don't recall information as well. And then since we're looking it up with our thumbs, we recall it even worse. It's you know, that that mind muscle connection is a real thing. It's important for exercise, understanding what muscles should be flexing during certain exercises. It's important for learning too. I mean, as we're kind of like seeing proven. If you don't think people are getting dumber, no, I shouldn't say that, because I'm people, and I am definitely guilty. God, you gotta love working in digital, because then you can just reshape it. Boom, look at that. And then this. So it actually like would thin out, but then because the foreshortening, we're gonna, and then the hand platform basically right there. So that puts the thumb and that is us drawing in some kind of walkie-talkie for this guy. Then his hands are gonna, get rid of that guide. We don't need that right now. Guides, super useful for a lot of things. Not for free drawing though. And your skull and neck meet kind of right there like that. There's a little divot where the atlas is. Atlas bone is the atlas bone is what gives your head its kind of like three-dimensional pivoting capacity. Ironic, right? The globe on your body is resting on the atlas bone. Huh? Any Greek mythology people out there? Atlas would be a cool name for a kid, but then, like, I feel like it would put way too much pressure on the child. You know? The weight of the world on their shoulders all the time. You couldn't even get mad at them for just, like, sighing constantly. Well, it's my fault. I named you this. So this is, like, super gross and rough. So I'm going to hold my phone to, like, really using yourself as a model, man. You gotta do it. But while I'm holding my phone, I can't. And this is why, again, like, you know, I think fitness is important for artists. Just so that way you can use yourself as a more effective reference. I'm not having to go and, you know, find a person holding a phone, because I can just hold the phone at the angle that I want to be holding it at, or I want the character to be holding it at. So actually, it's more like this. Like Ross Tran, very popular YouTube artist, he uses himself exclusively for reference. But he does like reference photos and stuff. Which I would love to do reference photo shoot, especially since I have like, well, I don't anymore, but I had a sword, and as I was moving down to North Carolina, I put it up as a prize in a friendly Magic tournament, and things got heated when a sword was on the line. Let me tell you, people were into it. But yeah. So I have access to a sword and stuff, so I would love to do a photo shoot. So, if anybody in the New England area wants to ever do a photo shoot, so I can have some dank reference material for future projects, I'd be super into it. Another great person who just provides actually a lot of reference material for the art community in general. Like they do their own photo shoots and stuff and then post them. Is Noah Bradley. He's a Magic card artist. He had some controversy in the past, but trying to be a better person, which I applaud that, if we were all judged by the mistakes we made in our past, for the rest of our lives, like who wants to live in that world where you're not allowed to improve, You're not allowed to be a better person than you were. Not to excuse people's behavior, but, allow them the opportunity. Lord knows I am not free of sins or mistakes. Oh, man. I will always remember this one time, and if they ever listen to this, they'll know exactly who they are. Well, no, maybe they're not holding on to it like I am, but whew, my voice didn't change for a long time growing up, so I was self-conscious about that. And this guy in one of the musicals in high school, his voice cracked during his song performance, and I went up and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" Like a dick. And I still get flashes of that moment and feel the most intense shame. So, I'm glad that people don't judge us based on who we are forever, or who we were forever, and allow us to grow. It's one of the problems with the United States, where I'm living. If you're tuning in from outside, that's one of the problems with the United States right now, is nobody's willing to give anybody a break on anything, or have even like rational discussions. Everybody just wants to get mad and hate at the drop of a hat. We can't be doing that, because then then nobody's improving. Then we're just on the lookout for who's failing, or who is, I don't know why I'm still holding the phone. I've moved on. But yeah, then we're just on the lookout for the next person that we can vilify, rather than trying to improve. Right, let's work into some of these. Oh, although we have moved through that first half hour real quick. So we're just gonna block in some musculature for this one. Although, like, the bicep really flattens out when it's not flexed. Like, it goes from like this to like this, like flexed, you know, and then relaxed. But yeah. So there's that part of the tricep, that into the elbow, and then the elbow actually creates, like, the elbow comes out and is a straight line almost, like that. And then the bicep does this thing. And does this. So it moves. So it creates this like kind of weaving like chain almost right there. In fact, I've actually seen some people draw arms as like chain, a series of like an iron chain to start it out. And then that twists around to the top. Boom. But of course, this is going to be like that. And then wrists. And this is why, if you're noticing how much I need to like go in and like, you know, correct things and like work it a little bit more, that's why we do the warm-ups. So that way there will come a point where that's not required at all, you know? And that would be the chest. And that would be the back. Thumb. Hand plane. Middle finger is a little bit longer. Ring finger, pinky finger. But that hand's a little big. We need to be more like. Alright. And then this one, really wanted to accentuate the flex. Of the tricep, bicep, some little creepy voices in the music right now. But yeah, you get this like deep divot when you really like extend your arm back like that. And then that stretches the bicep even more. So then that would be the... So then it flattens out, it would flatten out the front delt, pop out the rear delt. And then extend the upper delt. Boop. And there we go. Like that. Just gesturing. And thumb, fingers down. Whoop. Not bad. And then just for us, because I corrected this issue too, look at that, and we can just see. So there's a little bit screwed up in his anatomy, like in this area. Sorry, there's a little screwed up in the anatomy, like right around the head and neck. We can just see when we flip it, and that's the importance of flipping it. You got to flip it. Flip the image when you're drawing. See it from as many angles as possible, so that way you can really get the anatomy right. Oh, Pinterest stuff. If you're wondering, oh, there you go. You know, in the comments, guess the noise my phone is making for my push notifications. If you can hear it, it's gone off a couple times during the stream. It's a hint from a video game. Name that game. They tried to make him the next, or the Mario of PlayStation. So then this one, I'm gonna go back to I love this blue. I mean, it is kind of, so then that stretches out the tricep and flattens that structure out. And that's like your muscles are just simple machines, you know? So this just goes back to the whole learning physics thing. But they're just simple machines. So like you're just I mean it's just kind of it's like a hydraulic / pulley system throughout your entire body. You know how your muscles work. So again, like when you learn the physics, it's like, oh, if this does this, then logically the thing that is inverse to it is going to behave this way, you know? And then that bunches up real big. The brachii. And then there's still a little definition out of the tricep, but not that much. And then this would because when you pull it forward, you're going to be pulling. That's actually more like this. That's kind of how they weave. See, and they're all interlocking. They all just weave together. actually, I'm sure there's an animation already out there of like the bones, like of the human form, and then like the way the muscles just kind of like wrap around the bones, and I'm sure there's an animation of it doing that, so you can like kind of see how they just like they layer. They're like organic bricks just layering on top of each other, interlocking and weaving to make your body as like structurally sound as possible. I mean, you know, everything is kind of modeled after nature in some way, shape, or form. Spirals and whatnot. But, you know, just like the interlocking nature of things like a beehive, honeycombs, and stuff like that. You know, like if you stack them up, it's really just hexagonal bricks when they're filled in. Otherwise, it's just lattice work, but whatever. I'm just trying to make connections where there are none, right? But speaking of architecture stuff, do you know what's crazy? Like, sad things to think about. How much more advanced would we be, like, architecturally, and like with medicine and knowledge, and just how much more further along would humanity be if the Library of Alexandria never burned down, you know? Because, like, for instance, like the Dark Ages, all right, well, but holding that thought, I gotta progress into the time is a marching on, so we gotta progress into the next thing. But save as warm up 8:26 22. Label your stuff always. This is me being behind in life, telling you all to label stuff properly, so that way you don't have to go back through and try and organize chaos like I have for the past several years. Mistakes were made. Learn from me. But yeah, like the loss of the Library of Alexandria, stuff like that. Like, because the Dark Ages were called that just because of the amount of knowledge lost with the fall of Rome, you know? So it's like the Rome fell, and there was so much like Roman cement and concrete, or Roman concrete was a marvel of its time. And I haven't checked up on it lately, but 15 years ago, they still didn't really know how they did it, what the mixture was. They made their buildings earthquake proof, through like this layered wall system where they put sand in the walls to absorb like shock waves and stuff, like sand and debris and whatnot. You know, they had glass blowing and stuff like that, and all that got lost. It's so imagine how much probably got lost with the fall of the library. I think about that. I have a librarian friend who probably thinks about it more than I do, even. Yeah, we're gonna put that right there. I like that there better. And then, see, and we're not even being precious. Like, even though like this skull is looking really nice, we're not gonna be precious with it. Like, it's things need to change within it. Oh no, we are gonna be sampling from the drawing, which is a big no-no to some people, because would compromise your color palette, but since we're working in gray tones, it's not going to compromise jack. And it would actually like muddy your palette and muddy your colors and make everything kind of just not pop exactly right the way you want it to. But we're drawn with colors, so.
Okay with being like more self-centered now. So like, and not in like a detrimental way, but just enough to where it's healthy. And where I'm not,
shit.
like, ignoring
It's a
what I need.
message from the music right there, you know?
Like almonds.
There's something that I need. So with Photoshop, you can, I'm holding shift and I'm able to like create straight lines, but you can only draw straight lines. So if I click a point, hold shift, click a point, click, 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 I'm just clicking individual points. But if you hold shift and draw, then you draw a straight line. But you can only draw that straight line in like vertical and horizontal directions. So I just want, I wish that there was a way to draw those straight lines, because then pressure sensitivity comes into play. Like, so here we go. Like, see how I can thin out the line. So if anybody knows, because I got to look that up today afterwards, unless somebody can just be like, oh, hey, this is how you make it so you can draw in any radial while you hold shift. Otherwise, I'll have to look that up, and then that will be my homework tonight to share with you all tomorrow. So thank you for helping me learn. I appreciate you all. Making me better at my craft. All right. And this is actually cool because if you think about it, if the skull is here, then when he swings his axe, the teeth will clack and it would create like chattering noises. A little bit, you know, for his enemies to further throw them off. He's gonna win the head game. All right. We're gonna have to migrate off of this. Move around the painting a bit, you know. But I want it so it's kind of resting. I just want to shore up this structure here. So that way we know that the base of the skull is kind of resting on the blade itself. But yeah. So there's the point, and then it thickens up. And that right there, this part right here, that little like plop of white, that's that rim lighting, where it's like it's gonna be more geometric, because any light is gonna grab that little jab, you know, like alteration in the plane of the structure. See, I love being able to just get that straight line right in there. But I wish. But then I can just do this. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh. Ooh. Oh my. We love it. But then we've got to extend out the I don't know what this is called on an axe. The part that the handle goes, you know, is mounted to. I'll look that up too. We'll share that tomorrow as well. So right now, see if it's possible for me to hold shift in Photoshop and draw it on any plane, any radial, and then also what the haft of an axe goes through, what that is termed, the terminology. Woo-hoo-hoo! It's okay to be impressed with yourself, folks. I mean, it's a hot skull. It's a hot skull. Now we've just got, let's see. Now we've just got 90% more, 95% more rendering to do, and nah, it'll be fast. It's no problem. It's no problem for us. So then this is going to be that little bit duller. We want to kind of create that wave from the layered metal. This has got folded over and over and over again under some hot heat. Once I have some land, I can't wait to build my own forge. I wanna try my hand at forging a blade or two, you know? More of those hobbies away from the computer, since I work on it so much. Get me up and my body moving. Hammer and steel. All right. Let's see. And we're going to put some pits and stuff in this blade, of course, too. Just defining the shape here. Getting to the nitty-gritty details. Soon enough. Baby, yeah. So then this. And then he's gonna have a leather thong handle, essentially. So this is going to come out and then very awkward angle for a curving plane. Especially since we're kind of like shifting. Since we're kind of like shifting perspective. Since the center line of our vision is, yeah, it's a tougher one. Not making it easy on ourselves, folks. But that makes for interesting art, right? Exactly, Aaron. God, you guys are so on point. Way to grind, Borgman. Man, thank you. Thank you for the applause. The accolades. I'm doing this for y'all. Contrary to what I've said countless times, that this is for me. And you're just along for the ride. No. See, that's just a good philosophy to have, I feel, especially when you're doing something like this, because if I wasn't doing it for me, then, you know, if nobody's viewing, if nobody's chatting, if nobody's talking, then it just becomes disheartening. Because then it's like, oh, nobody cares about what I have to say. But that's not the case. There's just a ton of content out there. You know, if you do it for you, then doing it for, then you're going to keep doing it regardless of who's listening or not listening. And this is helping me improve. And if it's helping other people improve, then that's just awesome. That brings me great joy. Because then we all get to improve a bit together. Oh, there's a little lip to it. I didn't know that at first. But then as I painted it, I discovered the lip. See, sometimes you don't know the details are there. Who knew that was there? Not I, but now I do. See, painting in black and white. This is not the most efficient way to paint, for sure. This isn't going to be the best for throughput or like for a production pipeline. For that, you know, you'd want to do the gesture drawings into the shape blocking, into the you know, outline, then color blocking, then shading and defining and rendering. But this is definitely my favorite way to paint and draw, because it's kind of like 2D sculpting. It's just this pushing and pulling, it's finding shapes. It's a lot more free. You're not locked into a decision until much later on. And even then, you know, you're still not locked into a decision if you really want to change it. See, this perspective shift is really messing with me. Alright, so I think we gotta build it up. What if we do it more like this? So what if we do it more like this, create more of an arch. And then we can get this, and it fattens up nicely. And then it also brings the blade down lower and protects. He can have like a you know, I mean, if this is an axe wielding behemoth of a thing, he can have, and an experienced warrior, then he can have the axe having like a handguard almost, you know. Yeah, there we go. So this would actually go right there like that, and then this one come down like this. And then since we're painting with light, we're going to shoot this across right here. We're going to go right there like that. There we go. Nice. And then maybe just a little here. All right. Ooh, like that. Okay. So that's gonna go right about there. Like that. And then it's just a little buckled right here because it's on wood. And this thing has seen a lot of use. So it's going to just be a little, they like jam, you know, like it's seen some combat, and they used supreme force to basically jab it on there. So it's a little splintered and buckled right here. It's these micro decisions that inform the world in which your painting exists. It's duller than the metal. It's not going to pick up nearly as much light. But it's going to have gentler gradients. Oh, what's that? Is that wood? Is that wood right there? Yeah, that's wood. We know that's wood. That is some wood material right there. Boom. And that's just from knowing how wood behaves in, certain lighting conditions. I'm just going to have just a little, there might be a well-polished portion, you know? Not right there, though. That's not going to have any polished portions. Just a couple little, hey, how you doings. And this is that pushing and pulling, adding and subtracting. The way I love to draw, you know. It's just much more organic feeling. But everybody's got their own style. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. And I will be the first to admit, mine are not the most efficient. But I like to be more freeform while I'm creating a world, you know? When I'm playing God, I like to have a nice relaxed atmosphere. So I'm just gonna... How thick is this leather? There we go, that's about how thick that leather is. You know, it's a leather cord. Tightly wound, tightly bound. Ugh. Does it have any fur for it? Like for padding? That would inform some different decisions. It is aged though, so it will have like imperfections in it. Breaks. Actually, and then here's a part where he had to remove the cord, and then basically tie it and bind it back together with another piece. Oh yeah. What do we like? Leather cords. Why do we like them? 'Cause we're kinky. What? Who said that? One of the things I find myself doing a lot especially when I'm drawing faces, is I'll be making the face that I'm drawing just without realizing it. As I try and... So y'all can just imagine that, next time you see me drawing a face. So, his isn't that interesting. His is a sad boredom. His is a, I have to kill this creature. His would be interesting, and I would be Mr. Warp guys would be interesting, and I would definitely be making that face. Were I drawing it right? But look at that, save myself the embarrassment because his back's to us. See, it's not like the most well-refined metal, so it's gonna have like waverings and pittings and imperfections and all that good jazz. One of the things I need to get a lot better at, or more okay with, is so our brains do this really cool thing where it will complete things for you. So you just don't include certain things, certain details, and your brain will fill it in. It's a really interesting thing that our brains do to save time and energy. It's also why eyewitnesses aren't always the best. But you learn that from having a fiance who's addicted to crime podcast. Well, eyewitness accounts not being the best. But yeah, so like, for instance, I mean, if you see a word with the middle letter scrambled and the first and last letter are correct, like 9 times out of 10, especially if context is there, your brain will just fix the word without you even realizing that it did it. So some cool, interesting stuff, just some fun little tidbits from Aaron, or from Borgman, I mean. So see, we're not even being precious with this skull that we like so much. We don't care about it. I mean, we do, but we don't. Dang canines. Gotta fix them. Fix them canines. What are the front teeth called? I don't know. Didn't go to dental school. You don't need to get that engrossed into anatomy. Although, it does make you seem smarter. So, there is that. That added perk. Excuse me. I probably even put the incorrect number of teeth. No. Did I put one extra? No, I didn't. Yeah, no. That's just... This is a single tooth with... Wait. Huh. Yeah, okay. No, I put the correct amount of teeth in. By the way, the sounds you were just hearing was me counting my teeth with my tongue. To be sure that I was correct. So go to the dentist, so that way you can use your own teeth as reference for the rest of your life. I need to be better about flossing, my goodness. My dental hygiene still be lacking. I mean, it's not disgusting, you know, I take care of stuff, but not as good as it should be, or could be. There we go. Loving it. There's that splintering, more of that. Yeah. That we had talked about. Oh, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Now we're getting into it. Now we're getting down to the arms and stuff. It's gonna have a big old knuckle right here. This thing is gonna be huge. Really want to accentuate their size difference in the hands. So then his thumb. So that's gonna go. There we go. Woo. Something in my eye. Lovely. Get that anatomy going right from this angle. His hands need to be huge. You know what they say about big hands. Big feet. Big feet. Big shoes. It's your daily dad joke. No, I'm not even going to start that. That's a horrible thing to start. There will be no daily dad jokes on this channel. I'm not going to subject people to that nonsense. So that's going to be my tone for... All right. My goodness, getting dark out here. Rain's coming in. This knuckle is gonna be canted up more. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. All right. There we go. Well, the stream is winding down here, folks. As we approach the 3 o'clock hour. Hope I helped y'all get through some of your daily grind as you helped me get through mine. Oh, lightning flash. Oh, quality lightning storm coming in. Oh, I can hear it. That's exciting. Gotta love lightning storms. Nature's fireworks. Well, according to Calvin and Hobbes, actually. The fall foliage is nature's fireworks. But I would definitely say that lightning storms are definitely up there. For that fireworkiness. Fireworkiness. Fire quirkiness. What's up? All right, and on that note, well, I think I just want to render out the rest of this hand real quick for y'all. This is like the folds and the webbing as things bunch up. And there's the pad. There we go. And then there's a nice little pocket right here where the skin bunches. Back there, like that. Boom. Oh, yeah. That is a meaty paw. I'm gonna beef it out a little bit more even. Oh. Dial that one back. There we go. And then we'll just create a nice little gradient there. Ooh, hoo, hoo. We're liking that area now. Look at that. We're just marching our way down as we render things out in this style or this method with kind of drawing with light. Drawing, well, really just tonal drawing. We're just this is like how you would do a charcoal, you know? Just less mess. So I guess do I want, no. That should be it. All right. So that, I think, is where we're going to leave it for today. We're going to have to create a nice little gradient here. We're going to have to probably get in there and blend it. Round it off more. Give it a much more gentle transition, you know. So you get roped into it. It's the good stuff. I'm roped in. It's got me. It's the drawing's got me, I tell you. Right, well, that's where we're going to leave it for today. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, appreciate you grinding with me. Tune back in. Next episode is going to be Monday next week at 1:30. So that's going to be August 29th at 1:30. And we're going to just, get into our warm-ups, get back into this painting a bit. We're going to keep working on our skills and keep improving and keep each other company while we work through the stuff. And pulling away, I see I want to fix more of that hand, keep refining it, make it even better. But anyways, so if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe. You can check us out on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Borgman Designs, borgmandesigns.com, our website. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other, and just keep improving yourself and keep improving the world for those around you, because that's all we get to take with us is the love we leave behind. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.